And today I'm going to show you how I made a fun little card with the Market Goodness stamp set bundle from Stampin' Up. It is one of their newer bundles from the current catalog, the current annual catalog that just started here at the beginning of May. And it's, like I said, it's a fun little bundle that I haven't had an opportunity to use until just now. So I figured I'd go ahead and have some, check it out, make a card, and yeah, play around with it a little bit. So this is it. If you take a look in the annual catalog, you'll see there's a card that looks pretty similar to this one, actually, in the catalog. So you're going to see that it's out there, and yeah, I kind of borrowed a little inspiration from Stampin' Up for it, changed it up a little bit, but it's pretty similar to one that is in the current catalog. So that's the card we're going to be making today. And this is the stamp set. Hey, Judy, thanks for hopping in today. And I'll apologize up front. I'll probably have to do this a few times through the video. My husband came home from Italy with a little bit of like coffee runny nose thing, and I seem to have caught a version of it. It's not as bad as his, but I kind of have like a tickle and a cough. So I'm going to try to get through the video without hacking my head off. Hopefully I can do it. So all right, Market Goodness is the name of the stamp set, and it's a photopolymer, so it's one of those, it's easy to stamp with, easy to see through when you're stamping. So it's got some two-step stamping on it. All these little vegetables are designed to, like there's the stems for the tomatoes, and then the tops for the carrots, the top for the onion, top for the radish or beet or whatever that is, and then the layering on the lettuce, and I'll show you how that part works together a little bit later. So again, stamp set, and then we've got this cool set of dies, and hey, thanks. I see Judy and Carol and Christine and Robin are all here as well. It's got a great set of dies that coordinate with it. This die is actually like a freestanding die, so it's just a little kind of bag, like a mesh bag or whatever you want to call it, type thing that you can die cut and fill it up with the little stamped or die cut goodies. And then the open images here are the ones that will cut out your lettuce, the onion, the carrots, the tomatoes, and the little beet or radish. Like I said, you all can duke it out. I don't know whether it's a beet or a radish. I guess it depends on what color you stamp it in. So, and then there's a little bow, and there are some little flowers as well as the little stems. So these two will work together if you want to do just a little bouquet of flowers. But yeah, it's a great Stampin' die set, and it's part of a whole suite, and I'm actually going to use all of the suite items here on my card today. All right, so I will set that aside. And hey, Carol, thanks so much. And Amanda's here as well, and Marilyn, so thanks for joining. A couple things before we get going. Stampin' Up has got free shipping. They just let us know yesterday they'll be doing free shipping on all orders of $75 or greater on May 21st only, which is Tuesday. So again, hopefully, sorry. I was hoping I'd make it a little further in before I started hacking. Free shipping, make sure you get your orders ready to go and get them put in on the 21st to save yourself some shipping, again, on orders of $75 or greater. Let me know if you have any questions about that, but otherwise you can just go out to the online store, hop in, get your orders placed, and this does apply to demonstrator orders as well. So there's an awesome little joining promotion that is going on as well, to starter kit promotion that Stampin' Up has going on for the month of May. You can join and get 4 new in color products for free with your starter kit. So starter kit is $99 and plus tax if that applies in your area. It ships for free, and you get to pick $125 worth of any merchandise that you would want in the current annual, well, anything available from Stampin' Up in the starter kit. And then on top of that, you're going to get these 4 products that are the new in-color items available now in the current catalog, but you're going to get them for free with your starter kit. So it is a great deal. Definitely, if you're thinking of joining, it would be a very good idea to do it before the free shipping offer starts because, again, demonstrators get free shipping on their orders on the 21st as well. So then you'd get your 20% discount, and you'd get free shipping. So, yay. All right, let me know if you have questions about that, if you have any interest in joining. We'd love, oh, God, I totally just banged right into my light. Sorry. It shook the whole table and everything. So, all right, we'd love to have you come join our team if you're interested. All right, so let's get going. Card base is crumb cake. And this one is cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2 across the top. But this card would very easily work with your regular card base, which is your book fold card. So that one would be 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4 down the side. So if that is your preferred card base, you definitely can make this card with it. I just happen to have 2 card bases that were cut with the top fold, which is the card base I prefer. So that's what we're making today. All right, I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and it is cut to 4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And we're going to do a little stamping on that to get started. This is one of the images. It's a little border image is what I'll call it, from the Market Goodness stamp set. And got some pumpkin pie ink. And hey, everybody who's joining us, thanks for hopping in today. We are going to stamp this across the bottom here. It's, of course, a little more difficult when I'm stamping it through a camera as opposed to just by myself. And we'll add the one extra little X on the edge there. And then we're going to do the same thing here on the top. And I totally did not get that one straight at all. There we go. Call that good enough. Close up the ink pad for now. Again, that was pumpkin pie ink, basic white cardstock. And thankfully, I know you all are going to be like, phew, she did some of this die cutting ahead of time and snipping. So I did some of it ahead. So, because it's very repetitive, and I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me do all of this die cutting and snipping out ahead of time. But I will show you where all this stuff came from. So, to start with, the flowers are from the To Market Designer Series paper, which is part of the suite of products. It's actually called To Market, I think is the name of the suite. But it's part of the suite of products that you get if you want to order everything together. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to snip out. I already had cut 2 of the little bouquets ahead of time. I'm going to cut out the 3rd one here and show you how I did it. I am not a fussy cutting expert. I don't really like to fussy cut. If you all know me and have watched any of my videos, you'll know I'll do like almost anything to not fussy cut stuff. But this one, the flowers are fairly easy. I'm just going to take them, and I'm leaving a wide border around the edge, so I'm not worrying about getting too detailed on any of these. And the bottom of it, I'm actually going to just chop off because I'm going to be cutting those down anyway. So I'm not going to worry at all about getting really detailed around the leaves on the bottom. The other good thing is, usually when I'm doing fussy cutting, I will actually make sure that I've got it on a same color background. So for me, a white background works great, because then if I don't get everything cut exactly nicely when I'm fussy cutting it, nobody can really tell because it's on a white background. I mean, if you really look at it, you probably can tell. But that is my one tip, is just put it on the same color background. And then it's a lot easier for you to fussy cut and not have to stress out so much about it. And I'm not going like way down deep in between all these little flowers and all the leaves and everything else. I'm just doing it right around the edge so that it puts a little border around it, but isn't cut really very nicely. So I've got the 3 little flowers here that I've cut out ahead of time. And I've got the bag, and I'm also going to cut out, again, this is all part of that To Market Designer Series paper. One of these little, I'll call this one a basket and the other one a bag. I don't know if it's in fact actually a basket, but that's what I'm going with. We'll call it a basket. So, again, I'm just going to go in and cut loosely around the item that I want to cut out here. And then I'll do the more detailed cutting here in just a second. So this one is much faster to cut because it's a lot of straighter lines, not perfectly straight lines, but much straighter than what I was doing. So I'm just going to go in here and try to keep it going around the corner so that I can kind of round the edges of it, because the stand or the image on the paper is not squared in the corners, it's a little rounded. So there you go. Like I said, if you're a bad fussy cutter like me, that, you know, pick the easy things. So, all right. So I'm going to put the flowers inside the little basket. And I've got all 3 of them tucked in here. I'm going to start with a little Stampin' Seal, or you can use glue dots or whatever you want to do to put the first couple pieces on here. And I also need to obviously trim down a little bit because I don't want those stems hanging out the bottom of my little basket. So I'm going to start by putting the kind of the orange flowers or orangey flowers in the the basket or the bag, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to take the purple ones and we're going to tuck those in sort of underneath the orangey ones. And then I'm going to grab some glue dots. Yeah, my hands don't like to fussy cut very well either. I'm not good at it, and it hurts my hands, and I don't know if that's just because they're not used to fussy cutting, but I don't like doing it either. So I've put a couple glue dots here on the red flowers, and we're going to take those, and we're just going to tuck those in kind of right behind the purple and the orange ones. I want them sticking out a little bit, but not way, way sticking out the top. So there we go. We've got our little flower basket all put together. And then ahead of time, I'll show you where I cut these from, as well as the dies that I used to cut them all out. I cut out the lettuce, the tomatoes, the little beet or radish, whatever you want to call it, the carrots, and the onion. And this, again, is part of that same paper pack. This is the To Market Designer Series paper. And this one will cut out your little radish or beets, whatever that is. This one will cut out your carrots. This one cuts out your tomatoes. And then this one cuts out the onion, and this one cuts out the lettuce. So I love it when they do this. Then it makes it really easy. I don't even have to stamp anything. I can just die cut it, which I do like die cutting. And that's something I enjoy doing. So when I go to die cut these, just because it's a huge piece of paper and it's not going to fit through my die cutting machine, I just kind of pick out the little vegetables that I want to cut out and trim around them and then run them through my die cutting machine. You can cut this down so that it will fit in your die cutting machine, but then you have the potential that you're going to cut some of like the carrots and the lettuce and whatever that you don't want to cut in half necessarily. So that is why I've left mine as it is and just kind of trimmed out of the middle of the paper the pieces that I want to die cut. All right, so we got all that done. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here where I'm going to start with a little Stampin' Seal, and we'll add in, we'll take our little tomatoes, and I think we'll kind of tuck those into the bag like that. And then what else have we got here? Carrots that need to go in. So we'll kind of take those and tuck those off to the side. Excuse me. And then the lettuce will need to go in as well. And I'm going to grab some glue dots for that. Except, oh, here they are. I'm like, the glue dot box is empty. What have I done with them? Take a couple glue dots, and I'm going to actually put them on the front of the lettuce in a spot where I know they're going to be covered up. So take the one glue dot, and I think we'll stick it sort of in there. And that glue dot is actually in a good spot for my little onion. So I'm going to tuck that in right over the top of that glue dot. And then we just have the little radish left to go, or beet. Like I said, I don't know if you guys have decided yet which one it is, radish, beet, whatever you want to call it. We're tucking it in right up here over the top of the lettuce. All right. So we've got our two little bags of goodies ready to go. Now we just need to take some glue dots and stick the die cut and snipped out images to the card front. And again, all of these images, the bags and everything, all came right out of that To Market Designer Series paper. So it's a great pack. And the flip sides of all of them, I can show you a couple of those, although you're going to see, I guess, flip side of the one we'll be using actually on the card front. So there's a plaid on this one. And then there's a green plaid on the flip side of the other one. So it's kind of more neutrally or backgroundy patterns that are on the back of these, which is pretty cool too. All right, so we're going to take that little bag and stick it down here to the card front. And then we're going to go ahead and stick this down with some glue dots as well. You can use Stampin' Seal or liquid glue, whatever you prefer. I like glue dots just because they aren't as messy. And Stampin' Seal, sometimes I get a little wild with it and it sticks in places where I don't necessarily want it to be. The other thing that I like about glue dots is it gives it just a tiny little bit of dimension, not tons of dimension, just a tiny little bit. So that is why I like using glue dots as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick this on here. And then before I stick it down completely, I want to make sure my sentiment, yep, that should fit over the top of it. So we're going to take that and smoosh it down. And the reason I waited to stamp the sentiment is because I did want to make sure that I had the placement of everything on here before I stamped the sentiment and had it be in the totally wrong spot, and then I had to maneuver everything around. So I've got pecan pie ink that we're going to stamp the sentiment in. And I'm just using the little hello sentiment. Again, this is all from that same stamp set, the Market Goodness stamp set. Stamp that right there on the piece of basic white cardstock. And then we're going to add in, it depends on what's easier for you. Again, usually in videos, I cut the whole piece of paper, but I also wanted to show you the little hack that you can use. So this piece is cut to 4.5, and you could probably cut about a 5-ish inch piece of paper, the plaid paper, and stick it underneath this entire white panel if you want to. Otherwise, you can do what I do a lot of times when I'm kind of working by myself and nobody can see it, is I just cut a smaller strip. These are about 3/4 of an inch wide by 4 inches long. And we're just going to take these and we're going to stick them on the back. And then nobody but you and I are going to know that we've cheated and haven't used a whole piece of paper underneath the back side of it. So to get it to line up somewhat straight, again, it's not a perfect trick, it doesn't always work perfectly, is I line it up along one of the grid lines. And then I'm going to take my other little paper and we're going to line that up on a grid line as well. And that's going to give us a 1/4 of an inch peak of the Designer Series paper. And it should be pretty straight. Again, is it perfectly straight? Probably not. But is it close enough that nobody's going to notice? Yep, it is. So, all right. So here's my other little strip, if I can grab it, of Designer Series paper. And again, I'm just going to line it up here on one of the grid lines on the left. And then I'm going to take it and line up my basic white here on the 1/4 inch grid line next to it. And that should give me a pretty straight and pretty even show of the little Designer Series paper right around it. So, all right, if you like to conserve paper a little, and I know many of you do because the papers are pretty, we want to be able to use them on as many cards as possible. That's my one little tip. So I'm using Stampin' Seal and just putting it all over the back here and a little bit in the center to make sure it's held down securely on the card front. And bringing back in my crumb cake card base. And then we're just going to take this and we're going to try to get it even side to side and top to bottom. There we go. Oh, hey, Roxanne, thanks so much. No worries. You can always catch the replay. So, and I've totally lost my gems already. Here they are. So I have got the transparent adhesive back dots, and these are part of the same suite. You can buy all the items individually. The only thing that you'll want to definitely buy together is the stamp set and dies, because you'll get a 10% discount if you buy those together. The rest of the suite is optional to add in. It just makes it a little easier and faster for ordering. If you order them together, then you just have one item number for all the goodies, or you can order them individually, however it works best for you. So, because sometimes things are out of stock, and so then we have to, wait and order things later and whatever. So whatever works best, you can order them however you want. So I've added a couple of the little, these are Blackberry Bliss gems, and that's it for the card front. So we're gonna be all done with that. On the inside of the card, I did a little vegetable stamping, so you could see how the two-step stamping works with this stamp set. And I've got the lettuce pieces here. So there's one that's a more solid piece of lettuce, and then there's one that's a more detailed piece. I am loving this suite too, Carol, and I saw your card that you made with it, and I'm like, oh, we kind of didn't make the exact same card, but very similar. So, but it's really cute and lots of fun to play with. So I've got garden green ink, and that's one of the colors that is in the Designer Series paper. So we're just going to ink up the more detailed lettuce image, and we're going to stamp that here on some basic white cardstock. I put it down a little bit low. And then I'm going to ink up the more solid lettuce image, and we're going to stamp it here on the grid paper. And then we're just going to line it up and stamp it over the top of the detailed image. So there we go. That's what the two-step stamping part looks like. You can definitely stamp them both if you don't want that much contrast between them. You can stamp them both in full strength garden green ink, and then it'll just be like, you'll see a darker image down here and a little bit lighter there, so it won't be as much contrast, but you can definitely do it that way if you would prefer. Then I'm going to grab the carrot image, and I've got pumpkin pie ink, and we're going to ink up the little set of 3 carrots, and we're going to kind of place those so they're, I don't know, look like they're laying on their side a little bit. Close that up. And then I've got the little carrot top image. So yes, Carol, the glass mat is coming back, but we have absolutely no details on when, how soon, how we're going to be able to order it and all that. We've just been told that it is coming back, and that customers and demonstrators will have a chance to order it when it does. So we're just waiting on the details. Hopefully we'll hear something soon, but I don't know. So, all right. Blackberry Bliss ink. And we're going to stamp the little onion in Blackberry Bliss. Just going to place that kind of right here between the carrot and carrots and the lettuce. And then there's a little top for the onion that's here. And we're going to stamp that in garden green ink right over the top of the onion. So again, all of these images, if you wanted to, you can stamp and die cut them. So the dies, again, coordinate with the lettuce, the carrots, the radish, tomatoes, and then the little onion. So there are dies that coordinate with it, but since we're just doing the inside of the card, we obviously don't need to die cut them. And I've lost my Stampin', oh, there it is. Where's my Stampin' Seal? Too much stuff on my desk right now. So, all right. Going to use a little Stampin' Seal to adhere this to the inside of the card base. And there we go. All right, so that's it for the inside, quick and easy as well. I'm going to fold it closed and do a quick crease at the bone folder, and we'll be all done with the card for today. So that is it. I really hope you will get this suite. And don't forget about free shipping on Tuesday. This would be a great suite to pick up and add to your order because it's really cool. And it's a lot of fun to play with. So there you go. Again, don't forget free shipping on Tuesday. Don't forget about that joining offer. It's a really great deal. Let me know if you have any questions about it. We'd love to have you come join our team. We're a very relaxed group of stampers. You don't even have to sell or buy anything beyond the starter kit. So just come join us with that. So again, thanks everybody for joining today. I appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday, I guess it is. Goodness, I've lost all track of the days. And we're getting ready to have summer break here with the kids, so then I'll really be lost on the days. So thanks everybody for being here. I will plan to be live around 2 o'clock Eastern time next week, Tuesday, and then again around 2 o'clock Eastern time next week, Friday. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will chat with y'all soon. Oh, and the details for this card will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com, and I'll link directly to the blog post in the description of the video, so you'll be able to find all the details, find the PDF tutorial, and all that good stuff tomorrow. Thanks again, and we'll chat with y'all soon.